Welcome in on this Tuesday. Take a look at this video. Now, some of the nation's largest cancer centers, they are continuing to deal with widespread shortages of life-saving chemotherapy drugs. And this information is coming in from a survey by the National Comprehensive Cancer Network. So with all of that being said, I do want to turn things over to our guests for today. We are joined by the Vice President of Pharmacy and Health Professions, this at the University of Kansas Health Systems. This is Rick Coldry. Thank you so much, Rick, for joining me here at the live desk on this Tuesday. How's it going for you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Now, I just want to jump straight into it. I want to go back to that survey. So we know that 86% of surveyed centers reported a lack of at least one type of oncology medication. But are we seeing that here locally? I think that is the biggest question right now.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And yes, the cancer drug shortages are nationwide. So we're not immune here in the KC Metro or our region. And while those drugs can be hard to get your hands on, sometimes we here at the University of Kansas Health System have been able to manage those shortages so far.
And speak a little bit more about this shortage. What type of drugs are we seeing a shortage of?
So for cancer specifically, it's three different cancer agents. Carboplatin, cisplatin have been on known shortage throughout the nation for some time. And then vinblastine is the name of the other drug that has been more acutely on shortage here in the last few weeks and has been a bigger problem nationwide.
And do we really know exactly why all of this is? I know that the White House released a statement last month, but do we happen to know the exact reason why this keeps happening and why it's an ongoing issue?
You know, Jeannie, I've been around for a long time. Drug shortages, I know cancer drug shortages are particularly alarming. There's no question about that. But there is an ongoing persistent issue with drug shortages throughout the nation. There's over 300 drugs on shortage that we've been dealing with for most of my career, actually, and I've been in this business for a long time. And the reasons behind the shortages are varied and mixed. Sometimes it is related to the manufacturer's ability to produce, whether they can get raw ingredients or not. So there's been disasters like hurricanes or floods, et cetera, that have taken out particular factories or production areas. That's been a problem in the past. And sometimes there's economics around drug shortages as well, where effective low-priced drugs are not as attractive to manufacture. And that can be a challenge to get and maintain manufacturers in that space. So there's a lot of challenges around drug shortages, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly what's causing a particular one.
And, you know, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we have to acknowledge that as well. But, you know, as people come in and they look for treatment, how does this change the treatment process with having this shortage going on?
So, that's a great question. And what I'll tell you is this is part of what we pride ourselves on and that we're focused on every day, is that so our patients don't have to worry about us not having drug to treat their cancer. So it's that proverbial, you know, the duck on the pond that's moving. It seems like they're just kind of gliding along. Everything's normal, but underneath their feet are going like crazy, trying to keep them headed in a direction. So that's what managing drug shortages is like. We don't want our patients to ever have to worry about that. So we have a team of people that is working continuously directly with our physicians to make sure that either we can get the product in time for their treatment, or in a rare circumstance, if we need to, we can change their treatment to something else that's equally effective so they don't have to worry about how their cancer is going to be treated. But it is an ongoing challenge and it is a big problem for us.
And I think the main takeaway is that you all are still able to treat those patients during this time. Is that right?
That's right. That is right. That's right.
Perfect.
And on those drugs that are in shortage, I'm sorry, just to be really clear, again, we're working every day with physicians. So if there are patients who are like, you know, this particular drug that's hard to come by is the top line drug for them, and there really isn't a good alternative, we're making sure we get to those patients first. So it's just part of what we do.
Great, Rick. I want to thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. But before I let you go, I did want to ask you, is there anything else that you would like to touch on that our viewers need to know before I let you go?
You know, I think I already kind of mentioned it. And again, like just drug shortages in general is a problem across the country and has been for decades. And so I appreciate the interest and opportunity to talk about this a little bit, but that's what I want viewers to know. It's not just these cancer drugs that are hitting the headlines. There's a lot of things that your healthcare providers are working on trying to manage.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Rick, for your time once again. I know you have a busy day
My
ahead
pleasure.
of you. I am going to take one final look at this file video that we have here at the live desk. If you joined this interview a little bit late, be sure to tune in to our 3:30 p.m. newscast to hear more from Rick and to hear more about the shortage.